Hello everyone and welcome to episode 50 of our game dev tutorials. Obviously quite a milestone and I'm pretty proud to have reached this point. I know I didn't go out one of these out last week. I apologize. My hard drive died and it was a mess trying to get my whole setup re-put together. But I think it's all dealt with and that shouldn't be a hitch moving forward. Today, guys, we're going to go over creating a base message system. What do you use a message system for? Well, you can use it for testing, just to put some things on the screen so you can see what some variable is at some point. Or you can use it for doing confirm messages to your user, like, oh, are you sure you want to drop that item? You can do it you can use the message system to do tutorials if you wanted to. I don't, but you can. You can use the message system for just about anything you want to just kind of get up on the screen over top of everything. So that's what we're going to go through today. Just want to take a second, guys, say, look, if you like these videos, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. It really does help. You can tell the difference between how well the videos do based on how many thumbs ups they get. Comment below, guys. It does help. Tells YouTube that it's an interesting topic. If this is helping you in a professional manner, please consider Patreon. And yeah, let's get a move on. Alright, so today, guys, just what we're going to do is we're going to create a message class. Then we're going to create a list of those messages in globals, because you want to be able to add to it anywhere. We are going to add the update and draw logic to main. Then we are going to add the lockout functionality that you'll see as we create the class, and then we're going to test it by just putting a quick message out when you start a level. So those are our goals for today. Let's get into it. So step one, this is an engine class, so source engine, and then it is output for sure. So we're going to add new item. Also, if you notice, some of my settings are going to be different in Visual Studios now. That's just a byproduct of the hard drive dying, and maybe they're not perfectly set up, or maybe they were the way I wanted them to, and I just was too lazy to set them up last time. So we're going to create the message class, and we're going to just put that out. And obviously we just need to grab our includes, so take any other file, put them in. Happy days. Okay, take out our extra namespace unless you really want to have that stuff there, and make it public. Okay, so what is a message? What are we going to be using to create our message? Well, a message is just some text at its base level that goes onto the screen, and then we're going to have a couple of variables that facilitate that going away, which would be a timer, or we're going to have the ability to lock out update during the functionality here, during its time that it's on the screen, and that's not going to be used today, but it's something that I use so regularly I wanted to put it in, because like for a alert message that comes up on the screen, you're going to want that for the user, because you want to lock out the update until they answer the question, whatever the alert is, or hit OK, or whatever it is. So we're going to have that. And then color, and then we'll just use a text zone, because text zone is kind of our way of putting out text in a specific area. You could just do this with a string if you wanted to, but I think that you'll find that the text zone is better for longer things, so it's best to use that as its base, in my opinion. So let's get started. So we mentioned the timer. Let's put that in. MC timer equals new timer, and then this is just going to be however long you want it to stay on the screen. In this case, we're just going to pre-fill it. Maybe I'll change that. I don't actually really love that, but so public vector2. It's always good to have a position. It's always good to have dimensions. In a lot of cases, you can just like mindlessly put those in and then remove them if for whatever reason you don't need them. Then we're gonna have the bools. We're gonna have done so that we know to remove it, and we are going to have lock screen. Lock screen. That should be public also. Boy, it'd be good if I could type. As always, can't type while talking. Okay, then we're gonna have public color, and you might ask, well, why do we need public color when public text zone has a color? And then I'll answer that in a bit. So just keep that in mind. I do have a reason for having them separated. Okay, so those are our variables. This is all we need to create the basic form of a message. You know what? We are going to create that. So never mind. I'm going to change what I did for my prompt. All right, so public message. It's our constructor, right? And then what we're going to look for is we want to do the vector2 position, vector2 dems, string for message, because we're taking in enough information to fill our text zone, and one of those things is the message. Color, bool, lock screen. Okay, so here's what we're going to make a quick change here. We are going to add in our time, and so I would say the time other than the string and position dems is the most important thing, so we'll put it in at this point. So int, and this is time, or MSEC, milliseconds, right? Because we're telling it in milliseconds how long to last. And then so we're going to take this, put it here, and then put that there, and then that there, and then that. Okay, minor stuff, but that's better. Now you can decide how long it stays on the screen too. I usually use that for mine, but I guess my base one didn't have that I was using, and I should have fixed that. Anyway, it's fixed now. So pose equals pose, dims equals dims. That's supposed to be uppercase S. Let's fix that. Okay. And then color equals color. And then we need done equals false. I guess we should put the lock screen stuff right here. Lock screen equals lock screen. And that's all of our variables. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5. Okay, so we're gonna. It's in the text zone. All right, so our text zone equals new text zone, and then we're just gonna have new vector2. In this case, it's going to be 0, 0 because we'll use the pose later. So right now it's top left, but then we'll use position to move it over. And the reason for that is it's easier to update that way. New vector2. Dimensions is an interesting one. Hold on, that's wrong. It's the string next. So just put a string in there. The width, which is kind of the dimensions here, is just that you know how we usually do dimensions times like 0.9. So let's dimensions x times 0.9. Let's do that. Use lowercase because now it's set up. Dimensions x times 0.9, and then it's going to complain at us because it wants it to be an int. Oh, don't mind my Discord. I thought I turned that off. Let me quickly. Okay. That's off now. Cool. Sorry about that. Line height. That one, our standard for this project is 22. We use fonts Arial 16. And then our color is color. And it should be big color, not little color, just in case you edit that, because that's the color coming in, and then you'll see that we're going to manipulate this later. Okay. Our next step is just to add a quick update. So public virtual void update, and then in here, timer dot update timer. Simple stuff. If timer dot test, then done equals true. Pretty simple stuff. That's our whole update. It's very, very simple. Public virtual void draw, and then in here we have a little bit more complicated of a draw. So first we need to manipulate the color, which we could actually do an update. Maybe we should just do that in update, because that's actually where it belongs. So if we already used timer, let's just do it. So text zone dot color equals color times float, because we want to preserve those decimals. Float. We don't want any chance of it casting anything here, so just bear with me on that. Timer dot msec, so the length of the timer minus where the timer is, which is timer dot timer, and then close that one up, and we divide that by, again, float, and then the total length of the timer. So timer dot msec, and then you might ask, okay, what is this doing? You know what, I actually want to reduce this so it never goes to complete 0, so 0.9f, or no, so it never is completely there. Okay, what is this doing? It is fading out the message over time. So at the start, you have the full color, and then we're multiplying it times some number smaller than 1, which fades it out. And this grows this shrinks as it goes. It starts full, and then starts reducing by the amount of timer. Eventually you get to the timer length, and so this is 0, and so then we have 0 of it. It fades all the way out. That's what this is doing. So hopefully that's clear. Now our draw, which is very simple. In a more complicated message, this is going to be much more packed full of stuff to do. So keep that in mind. Draw. Oops. I guess we'll hit our. My fingers keep getting way off. New vector2 pose.x minus text zone dot dims dot x over 2, and then pose.y. Very simple stuff. Basically, find the position and center the text zone horizontally. You could also center it vertically if you wanted to with the same code, but with y. But this is our entire basic message class, or base message class. A lot can be added to this. You can add backgrounds, you can add buttons, you can add all kinds of things. I have added portraits. I have added all kinds of things to this. So this is just a base class for it, and then you can modify and override and all that kind of stuff this to your heart's content. You can build whatever you really want with this, and then you can then put it on the screen. Okay, let's go to main. That's where we're going to be doing most of this work, because this message system is it's engine level, which a lot of your engine level stuff is going to be set up in main. Oh, you know what? We don't declare it yet. Let's do that. All right, so we need public static list message msglist message list equals new. There we go. So that's that. Now we can go to main. And in main, we are going to need the ability to lock out the screen. So bool lock screen equal, let's put it down here where it should go. Lock screen equals false, because we're not locking out our screen by default. All right. The next thing we need to do is we need to go down and find right above where we start drawing all of our stuffs. So this is our stuffs. This is our whole game. We want to update above it, because knowing what state your messages are in is important for locking out your update. And then we want to draw below everything so it draws last. So that's our two bits to deal with here. So here we're gonna do lock screen equals false, because we want to reset it to false every frame. We're gonna do a for loop through our messages. So int I equals 0, I less than globals.msg.list, not last, dot list, but dot count. Sorry. I plus plus. If globals dot message I dot update. No, not if. The if goes. First we need to update it. Then we need to test to see if it's locking it out. So first we update. Then we test the lock screen. So globals dot message list I dot lock screen. Then we lock screen here. I actually think I named that wrong. It should be lock update, not lock screen. Let's be more specific the way we're speaking here. We're typing. We want to make sure that we're easy to read what we've done. And then else. Oh. Hold on. If around all of this, so if it's not done, hold on. If not done, not done, else remove it. So globals.msg.remove at. Let's remove at. I minus minus, so that we don't break anything. Okay, so that is our update loop. So first we update it, then we check if it's done. If it is done, then we go and we remove it. If it's not done, then we check for the lock screen being done. Now, what does the lock screen do? Well, it literally just locks out the update. So it's very simple. If not lock update, then you get to do things as normal. Super simple, but very effective, very important to this whole system. And then we come down to the bottom, right before our sprite batch ends, and we say for int I equals 0, I less than globals dot message list dot count I plus plus. and then we're going to globals dot message list dot draw draw. And that'll draw us out. Okay, so now we've completed that. We have our entire pipeline in, and we just need to add the message. So if we go to, I think it's in gameplay. It's when we create worlds. So find all references. This is, I think, where we're at. Yeah, let's do it right here. So first, let's say int temp level equals, and that's this here, because we're going to use this twice, so we might as well make one variable for it and not convert it out twice. And we'll say globals dot message list dot add new message, and so we have new vector 2, new vector 2, we have our string, we have how long it's gonna go, we have the color, so color dot black, and then lock screen false, because we're not trying to lock out our screen. If you left that true for 3.5 seconds, you wouldn't be able to, the game would not be updating while the message was up. So make sure that's false. And then, so here we're gonna say level plus temp level. See, I told you we'd use it twice. The dimensions, maybe like 200 and then like 60 or something like that. I don't know. Pick whatever you want here. That's the width of your text area, basically. The height doesn't really matter in this instance, but it could moving forward, so consider that. And then we're just going to do in the middle of the screen, which is globals dot screen width over 2, globals dot screen height over 2. All right, let us run it. Here we go. We're gonna hit play, hit 1, and it says level 1 and fades out. And that's really all we're trying to do today. You could do it on hits, you could do it on death, you could do all kinds of things with your message system. You can pick what you want to do with it. I'm just trying to show you how to build it. So how you use it is up to you, but there is a working message system now. That's gonna do it for today, guys. Happy 50th episode. I'm super proud. At this point, we're at 391 subs, which I'm super excited about. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel and wanting to be a part of it. We will continue to go on. One thing I have noticed is this tutorial series has really become more about developing engine level stuff than it has been about developing a game. So potentially I will be starting a second series that's more about developing a game and less about developing engine level stuff, and then running the two side by side. So some weeks it would update one, some weeks it would update the other. I haven't decided. I'm just kind of spitballing right now. I have an idea of something I want to start to make. We'll see. But anyway, if you guys like it, make sure you hit that like button. If you guys are not yet subscribed, please do so. Comment below. Ask questions if you have any. If you don't, you know what? Sometimes just some encouragement is nice. And then again, guys, Patreon, if this is helping you in a professional manner, or you plan to sell the game that you are making right now, it would be very helpful to me and to this channel if you would help support it. Anyway, you don't have to, but consider it. Alright guys, that's going to do it for today. I will see you guys next time. Bye.